Welcome back to our second part of our Mordheim City of the Damned skirmish or clash between our Black Corsairs Mercenary warband and a band of witch hunters. I'm Black Cat Red River. And we left off last time at the beginning of our Walk in the Fog mission, and we spent a lot of time explaining some of the differences between the launch mission and the launch and deploy buttons when starting a new campaign, and some of the initial setup considerations when starting a new mission. In this episode, we're going to pick up where we left off. Our smuggler here is setting down new traps, and we're going to try to acquire some loot while being cautious about our potential adversaries, the witch hunters, who are competing for the same resources. So we can see on our overhead map here that there's some kind of loot in the far corner of this building on one of the levels. And there we can see the little sort of scintillating light there that represents some kind of loot. So in this case, it's a chest. Now our leader does not quite have enough movement left to reach it this turn. So we'll have to check that out later. Our warrior henchman, Devlin O'Shea, is going to move up and try to give a little bit of support to our smuggler. And we can see the little reddish icons on the map as well, which represent the black powder traps that the smuggler has been putting down. And Billy Crow, one of our marksman henchmen, is going to head over in a slightly different direction towards one of the other loot boxes or loot icons, which appears to be in this other building around the corner here, but he's out of movement points, so he's going to go into Overwatch or Opportunity Fire in case somebody sneaks up on him. And Thomas Sparks. Oh, he injures himself jumping down slightly. 8 hit points of damage. But he's also going to come up and offer a little bit of fire support in case any of our adversaries show up.
A new round has started.
Still no sign of any enemies appearing on our overhead map. It's good to keep checking that every now and then, because sometimes they will pop up and you won't initially notice them. Alright, let's see what's in this chest. Scavenge. An axe, a dagger, and some light armor. Nothing too fancy, but we can use some of it or sell it in our shop if we can get it back home with us. And rather than go all the way around down the stairs again, our leader's just going to jump down and thankfully does not hurt himself in the process. Alright, so somewhere in the back of this building there is some kind of body or chest for looting. So we're going to go check out the upstairs, and we can keep checking our map. It does not look like it could be on this floor. It's got to be up even higher, unfortunately. And here we do have another chest up on the 3rd floor, but Billy Crow is out of strategic points, so he's just going to go into a defensive position.
A new round has started.
Now back on the overhead map, we can see that all 5 of our band members are relatively close together, which I like to do, so we can protect one another and usually try to figure out what are the possible avenues that our enemies might appear from, and think about possible new places for black powder traps that could be set up. So we're going to send our smuggler scouting and maybe lay down another trap somewhere, or possibly switch to her dueling pistols at some point. Bugman's Ale is a consumable that increases your chances of resisting fear checks, but it also lowers your strategic points and movement for a short duration as well. So it's kind of a mixed blessing, I guess. It probably depends on your particular situation, and if you have allies around to protect you, you're less likely to need something like that. So I'll probably just leave that Bugman's Ale in the chest. I don't know if I'm going to bother using it. Alright, back over to Billy Crow. Let's see what is in the loot chest up here. Ah, nice. Some gold coins. Those will help pay for our warband's upkeep costs for engaging in this mission in the first place, and possibly towards any medical expenses that we might have afterwards.
A new round has started.
Alright, my smuggler has laid down a fair number of traps in the area from different sides, and I think she's going to switch over to her pistols for a while and see how that works out. And there we go. As soon as my leader stepped out of that doorway, an enemy appeared in his line of sight. So always good to go to the overhead map when that happens and check it out, because here I can see that one of the henchmen on the opposing side was spotted over there. Now the question mark on the henchman now indicates that that was the last location that that person was spotted at. So they may or may not still be there after they have moved. But this basically means now that the opposing warband knows where we are, and we can expect them, possibly multiple members of their group, to start showing up in our area. And that looks like another one has just appeared. And if we study his icon on the overhead map, we can see a few things. One, that he has been slightly wounded, probably from a fall or weird stone damage. And we can see that he's suffering from the effects of weird stone debuffs, which means that he has weird stone on him. And that means if we take him out, we can loot the weird stone right off of him. And here we can see the range that my archer has, and the high ground bonus is clearly displayed there as plus 10%, which means we have a much better chance of hitting him. And we are successful. 26 points of damage from one shot. So my marksman will reload, but he can't fire a second time because he only has 3 offensive points. He does have enough strategic points to go into a dodge stance here in case the enemy manages to reach him and engage in melee before he can do anything else. Now, Billy Crow here could probably move forward along that road and take a shot as well. But I'm going to move him back here. We have a couple black powder traps on that road between us and the enemy. So we might be able to lure that guy into one of those traps. So I'll just stay here and go into opportunity fire. And we'll see what happens.
A new round has started.
And now an enemy hero has shown up on the map with the 3-star icon there. So my warrior, Devlin O'Shea, coming up here mostly because the enemy's going to go before my marksman can move away, and I don't want him to get engaged all alone and taken out. On second thought, I may risk it. I may try to see if I can get my archer to pull back towards the rest of my group. It's a bit of a risk because he could get engaged and slaughtered basically, but I'm hoping that I can pull him back before that happens. Very nice. The enemy did hit the black powder trap, but they're still coming. They climbed up. They avoided some of the other traps by not going around the staircase there. But he did not engage me. He got up. He climbed up, and then he went into ambush stance. So this means I should or might be able to shoot him once or twice with different archers before he can engage my archer, and maybe with luck we can take him out. Now, I do have a shot from here, but you'll notice that it's not a high percentage because the enemy has a shield which gives him 10% protection, and I do not have an elevation advantage. But nevertheless, I was lucky and managed to hit him. Now this is a bit tricky because I'm too close to fire, and he's in an ambush mode, which means that if I move the wrong way, I could trigger his ambush and he could charge and engage me. So I'm going to try moving slowly directly away on the flank and hopefully not trigger his ambush. And see there, I can suddenly now I get a shoot option from this point blank range. But again, only 67% chance, and I missed. But I can get away. I'm not going to spend the strategic point to reload. I want to make sure I can get far enough away and get protected from my allies. So I'm not going to reload. Hopefully get far enough down here that one of my other people can fire and or protect me, and then maybe I can reload on the next turn. And I also want to be careful that I don't block the path of one of my own allies. If I do get engaged, I want to make sure an ally of mine can come help me. So I don't want to block their path.
A new round has started.
Now, another important ability that it's important to get familiar with is the delay action. So my leader here would normally go first in this turn, right? He's got a 60 initiative, but I want to wait and see what the enemy's going to do. So I'm going to delay, and it costs me 1 strategic point, but then it pushes me down a little bit later in the initiative sequence and lets me act after that. So I'm going to delay with my henchman warrior as well, and now we can see what this guy actually does and respond to it because of that. And look at that. You see, this enemy henchman not only avoided our black powder trap, he ran right past our trap and did not get hurt, but he also avoided my smuggler's Overwatch opportunity fire shot. So that didn't go off. She did not fire at him coming in, and he avoided our trap, and he did manage to engage our archer and hurt him. But because of me delaying with my leader, I can now bring him to bear and come in here and cut this guy down. Now my leader has 5 action points or offensive points, and he's allowed to strike twice with his sword, and that's enough to finish this guy off. Now, unfortunately, Thomas Sparks has taken almost half of his hit points in damage. So I want to protect him a little bit better in the future and try to avoid him being taken out. There's still the enemy hero within our line of sight, so he's going to reload and go into Overwatch stance, and we will see what happens. Now Billy Crow, our other marksman, I think we'll just stay up here on this ridge, get off of the blue sort of jump point so that other people can use it, and keep a height advantage so that I get an extra plus 10% chance to hit targets if they're coming from that side. Now, I've already delayed twice with my henchman here, but I still want to see what the other enemies might do this turn, so I'm going to try delaying again with him. Now, that puts me at the very end of the turn for this henchman. Now, here we can see the enemy hero attempting to climb up that same wall and failing, and now running back to their previous hiding spot. Okay, good. That looks like he has just enough strategic points to get to the enemy body and loot the weird stones off of it. Ideally, it'd be nice to get the shield and spear too, but I don't have enough room on this character, and I want the weird stones. And always take a close look at the weird stone corruption debuffs that might be affecting you when you pick up a weird stone for the first time, because my henchman has a minus 15% now to climbing maneuvers for the next couple turns. Now, I'm attempting to pull back pretty much all of my warband to the upper level here and take advantage of the height advantage for my archers and hopefully of the various black powder traps that my smugglers laid down, and lure the enemies towards us. At least that's the hope. Now you can see with the Weirdstone corruption that he only has about a 50-50 chance to climb now. So it's too risky. He's probably going to injure himself. A wiser course of action is for him to run around the building and go up these stairs. Now that all of our warband is up on this higher elevation or in the process of moving around the other building and going up the stairs, I'm going to stand on this blue dot and hopefully prevent enemies from using it. And then go into the Overwatch.
A new round has started.
Okay, one of the enemies there is able to be shot, but there was a big penalty from cover. So let's see if we can get a better angle and eliminate some of the cover and increase our percentage chance of actually hitting this target. Okay, we can get a shot without him having cover, and with our high ground bonus and him not having a shield, we're all the way up to 88%, which is pretty good. So I would like to shoot and still have enough movement left to get out of this space so that I can get my other archer to come and shoot. So I don't want to reload here. That would prevent my other archer. That would end my turn, basically, and prevent my other archer from firing this round. So I definitely don't want to do that. So this shows you the advantages that can be gained from the delay action, because if we had just gone into Overwatch on that side, we would have had no shots on this guy this turn, and instead I have 2 shots on him this turn. Now here, yeah, okay, so I reloaded. I probably shouldn't have reloaded. I probably should have vacated that spot. So that the next missile user would be able to automatically take that spot. But we'll cross that bridge later. For now, I want my smuggler to come over here and maybe put down another trap in case one of the enemies comes from this side. And I'll position her here mostly just to prevent enemies from jumping up at this location. Now I want to delay him so that the other archer hopefully can get out of that spot, or fire first and then get out of that spot. And there we go. This is the third shot we've been able to take at this particular enemy before he's even had a chance to move. And because of our use of the delay function, we should get a fourth shot. And there we go, back over to Billy Crow, who delayed already in this turn, and now he can come in for the fourth and hopefully final shot on this enemy, taking him out of commission.
A new round has started.
So here on the overhead map, it looks like one of our archers has an actual line of sight on this hero, enemy hero. So I'm going to want to confirm that and see if a shot can be taken. So we're going to delay with the smuggler until we can learn more. Hopefully we can get the initiative passed over to the archer that has that probable line of sight. Unfortunately, it's not passing initiative over to the archer that I want it to have. I'll keep trying to delay here for the moment and see if I can get it to the other archer. Okay, that's the second time it's gone to this archer. It's not likely going to go to the other one until I take actions that end some of my other characters' turns, unfortunately. At least that's what it's starting to look like. Okay, so yeah, it did look like I had to end a few of my other warband members' turns in order to get to this actual archer, which is the one I wanted to see. And he can, in fact, get a really good shot at this angle on the enemy hero, it looks like. 85% is pretty good, and that hero used to have a shield in his hand, I believe, and no longer does. So there is a good shot. As always, I don't want to end my turn there in case a different archer or missile user can take a shot. As we saw this past turn, I tried delaying all 4 of my other warband members in order to bring up the one archer, and I couldn't do it. So vacating the spots where you can fire from can sometimes be very important.
A new round has started.
And as we can see on this map, somebody in my group still has line of sight on this hero, so which is nice, and we know exactly where he is. If we didn't, there would be a question mark on his icon. So the question is, can I get more missile shots in on this hero and take him out somehow? So let's see what we can do here with, okay, look, he's got cover. Can I get a shot without cover and increase my percent chance? Yeah, it looks like it, yes. 93%, because the dueling pistols have a plus. I've got my good ballistic skill. I've got the height advantage, and the enemy has no shield. So 93%, that's really good. But I don't want to reload. I want to get out of this area and let one of my other archers fire. So more important for me to vacate the area, take up a defensive position somewhere, than it is for me necessarily to reload. I'm going to delay my Captain Flint until I can see if my archers can get shots in on this enemy hero. So this is the third shot on this hero before he's had a chance to move from that location. And he is very badly hurt, almost dead. I think he's only got a few hit points left. Now again, I'm going to try to vacate the area so that I'm not sitting right on top of my own bomb, my own explosive trap, and also so other people can get in there if they need to. Now, I still want to delay my captain, my leader here, in case their hero jumps up the wall there and might trigger the trap that we've got set. And I'll position my henchman warrior here on this dot, so hopefully preventing any other enemies from jumping up here. And go into ambush stance. Okay, that sounded like the enemy hero tried to climb up, fell, injured themselves, and maybe killed themselves because they were so badly wounded. And it looks like that happened. Where are they? They're not showing up though. Their body doesn't show up for some reason. Ah, there it is. It's off center, or it's away from their icon, but it says they're at 0, which means they have been taken out. But maybe I can't quite see their corpse. Okay, well that's a weird little glitch. It looks like their corpses somehow meshed in with the wall itself. They don't have much in the way of loot, but I'll take their axe.
A new round has started.
Okay, so we're already close to our cart and my leader's bags are full. So I'm going to run back over here and put away all the 4 items that he's picked up. Now, if you don't remember which character has what loot, you can open up their bags and check. And this is the one who has the 3 weird stones. And because we're so close to our cart, he's going to run over and get rid of them in there in case we find more loot later. And I want to have open inventory slots for him to add to. Now, our starting cart, as we learned in our initial setup video, our starting cart only holds 10 items right now because our warband is rank 0. As our warband levels up, our cart will hold more, but for now it only holds 10 items, and we now have 7 in there. And we're back over to my smuggler. She had reloaded her pistols and delayed one action. So now it's her turn to go near the end of the turn. I think I'm going to send her down because there are other enemies down there that might still have loot on them. It is important to note that loot will disappear off of your enemies after they're downed. If you don't get to it fairly quickly, it can disappear. Alright, so this turn is almost over. We have taken out the enemy's hero and 2 of their henchmen. Their leader and another henchman's locations remain unknown. And we have put away a bunch of the loot that we've found into our cart. But this particular episode is already getting long. It's an hour and 20 minutes in or so. So I think we will finish up this turn, finish up the 2 marksmen here, and wrap up this episode, and we will continue and definitely finish this conflict or mission or skirmish in our next video. But yeah, I think this is probably a good spot to wrap things up.
A new round has started.
Okay, we'll pick up right here next time. See you then.